everyone, it's Gwen. So today is December 31st, aka New Year's Eve. It is so crazy to think that this year is practically over already. As a lot of you guys know, especially if you guys follow me on Tumblr, which you totally should, link in the down bar. Throughout the year, I have been doing something called the Tumblr Jar of Good Thoughts. You guys may have heard of this if you have a Tumblr account or have just been on the internet before, because I've seen it on Facebook and Instagram and a bunch of other places too. For those who don't know, the Tumblr Jar of Good Thoughts is when you get a jar, and every single time that something good happens, you write it down on a little piece of paper along with the date and put it in the jar. And then at the end of the year, you get to open up the jar and see all the great things that happened that year. This is my first time doing it, and I've been doing it all year, and my jar is literally completely filled to the top. If I do this again in the future, I'm probably gonna have to get a bigger jar because it was literally overflowing and it was actually really hard to close it. But this is my jar. I wrote on it 2015 Tumblr Jar of Good Thoughts, and it's been in my room up on that dresser for basically the entire year. On Tumblr in the beginning of the year, I used to post monthly pictures of my jar so that you guys could see how it was filling up. I kind of forgot to do that the last half of the year, but now you guys can see that it's totally full. And now I'm doing something that I'm so excited and that I've been waiting for the entire year. I'm going to open up my jar and I'm going to read all the notes and see all the great things that happened this year, because personally, I think that this year was a really awesome year for me. Mentally, I feel like I was just a lot more confident in myself and my abilities. And I mean, YouTube-wise, I think that I had a great year on YouTube. And I think just in general, it was a really awesome year. And I feel like a lot of good things happened, but right now I might necessarily not remember all of them. So I'm really excited to look back and see all the awesome things that happened this year. Also, if I read something from my jar that I happen to have a picture of, I'm gonna put it right here so you guys could see. Or if I have a picture of anything basically relating to my good thing that happened, I will put it up here. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. All right, let's start with this one right here, yeah. Okay, I'm really excited. This one is from July 18th, and it says, "I went tubing for the first time!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. I went to my friend's lake house over the summer a bunch of times, and we went tubing, and it was my first time ever tubing, and I'd always wanted to go tubing. It's so much fun, and we went, and we were like screaming the entire time, and we were singing Fall Out Boy lyrics as we were screaming. Well, we were screaming Fall Out Boy lyrics because it was like right around the time of the Fall Out Boy concert, so yeah, that was a good time, and yeah, I love that. I actually have a picture of me and her on the tube. Yeah, I literally look terrified, so. But yeah, that was a really awesome time. This is also from July. It's from July 1st. It says, "I went to France for the first time." Yep. July 1st was the first time that I went to France, like the first time I'd ever stepped foot in that country. Crazy. As most of you guys know, I went to Europe over the summer, and I was at France for 9 days, I think, because we went to France and Italy, but we were mostly in France, so probably for like a good 9 days we were traveling around France. I have a bunch of pictures from it, so maybe I'll only put a few up here, but if you guys want to see more in depth on that entire amazing trip, I encourage you guys to go watch my video titled "I Went to Europe." The link will be in the down bar. It's a really awesome story. A lot of cool things happened, a lot of crazy things happened, and I got a lot of really cool photos from that trip, so that was an amazing experience, and I'm so happy that I got to experience that this year. April 29th, it says, "We won our varsity softball game by 1 run." So as some of you guys might know, I play softball and volleyball, and I was on varsity last year, and we did not have the best season, so we didn't win too many games. We weren't like awful, but it was definitely a learning season for us, not a like winning, competing season. But we won by 1 run, and that was a pretty big deal back then. This one is from December 23rd, just happened. It says, "Saw the last ever Hunger Games film." Sad face. Yep, last week I went with my friend and we saw the last Hunger Games film ever. We saw Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I cried a little bit at the end. Oh my god, it was a really, really amazing movie, and it was such a great ending to the entire series. I keep wanting to say trilogy because the books are a trilogy, but there are 4 movies, which just confuses me. But either way, it was a great ending to the series. Definitely gonna be one of my favorite movie series and book series. but it's just like one of those movie series that I feel like I'm definitely gonna watch a lot in the future. So really good film, and I've been going to see these Hunger Games films. I didn't see the first one in theaters, but I saw all the last 3 ones in theaters. Like each year I went and saw them, and that's kind of been like a tradition. It's been going and seeing these films every year with friends around this time. So I'm really sad that that's over, but you know, that was a really good movie. This one is from June 5th. It says, went to my first senior tea. So every year at the end of the year at my school, we have a senior tea, and I went for my first time last year as a freshman because I got invited by a few seniors, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of my friends from my class were there, and it was really nice to hang out with some seniors from last year that I knew I wasn't going to be able to see anymore. And it was a really fun time. You get to dress up, drink tea, eat like the fancy scones and pastries, and it was a lot of fun. This one is from June 23rd. It says, went to my first ever Fall Out Boy concert. Yep, I have a video on this as well. It's my concert excitement video. Once again, I'll link it below. I'm linking everything below, guys. That was a really fun experience to see Fall Out Boy live. Oh my gosh, they were so awesome. Even though, considering how far back I was and they were like specks, it was still amazing, and the music sounded great, and it was really, really fun to see them. And it was a really, really fun concert, so I'm really happy that I went. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Yeah, I filmed a video on Valentine's Day, so those are my Valentine's Day plans this year. My mom bought me roses. I love how I wrote that down because I do remember that. I actually have a picture with them, but I just love that I actually wrote that down. Like, my mom bought me roses. She did. She bought me roses. It was actually really sweet of her, and they were up in my room, and it was really nice. This one's from June 21st. A lot is happening in June. I'm getting a lot of summer ones. It says, dip dyed my hair blue. Yeah, if you guys watched my summer videos, you guys will have seen that in a few of them, the tips of my hair was blue. So I must have done that on June 21st. I had that for like, I don't know how, it didn't really stay for that long, maybe like a week and a half. But it was fun. It was fun. I dyed it originally blue, but then it ended up turning green when I went to Europe. So that's in a lot of my Europe photos, which I think is kind of funny. This one is from March 5th. It says, I found out I got accepted into advanced theater for 10th grade. Oh wow, I totally forgot about this. I mean, I know because I'm in the advanced theater class at school, but I forgot about that. Yeah, this was last school year. So I was in the normal theater class last year. My theater teacher was holding auditions for an advanced theater class that he's doing this year, and I auditioned. You had to do a bunch of different monologues. You had to write like this 500-word like not paragraph, but like it's not an essay, it was like a mini essay kind of about like why you wanted to be in the class and like what you wanted to learn and your passion for theater, and I did all that and I ended up getting in. But it's a really fun class, and I really like being a part of advanced theater, as my theater teacher calls it, advancedy. I'm an advancedy, which is really fun because I really have a passion for theater and I really like doing it, and I was really excited. I remember I got the email on the evening of March 5th, and it said my name, and I was like, whoa. So yes, I do remember this. That was a pretty awesome moment. October 31st, Halloween. Carved a pumpkin with my mom that looks like Jack the Pumpkin King. So my mom and I carved a pumpkin on Halloween that looked like Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It actually ended up turning out pretty good. It looked really cool. At the time, I was really excited for the Panic concert, so I added a little like P exclamation point on the side of the pumpkin because I needed a way to express my excitement, because at that time there were only 13 days till the concert, and I was in the fat freak out mode, you know? So I definitely remember that, and that was really, really fun. March 3rd. Got praised by Mr. Johnson in theater. I actually wrote that down. Mr. Johnson is my theater teacher, and apparently he praised me in theater. I don't know what for, doesn't say what for, but apparently that happened. I do not remember that. I feel like he like praises everyone on a daily basis. He's so nice. I don't remember. I don't know. I must have done something cool, but that's literally all it says. Doesn't say why, doesn't say what for, so yay me. That's a good thing that happened this year. I got praised. Not gonna turn that down. October 18th. I got a Panic at the Disco phone case and some Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, and My Chemical Romance stickers from Redbubble. Whoa, that was a really exciting day for me. As most of you guys know, I made a YouTube video all about it, me unboxing it. So exciting. I'll link that below as well. You guys can watch that again if you want, or if you haven't watched it, you can watch it for the first time. That was such an exciting day for me, especially because those packages have been sitting in my room for a good solid week. I had to wait until I had time to film so that I could open them, so that was really exciting when I actually got to open them. And as of now, I still have the case on my phone, and I still have the stickers on my laptop, and love it so much. November 27th. Went Black Friday shopping for the first time. My mom dropped me off at the mall. She was like, I'm not going in, but you can have your fun. So I did go Black Friday shopping for the first time, and I went to Hot Topic and a bunch of other different places, and I got some really good deals on my parents' gifts that I got them. And I went to Hot Topic to get my dad a band shirt as like a gag gift joke. I got him a Dead Kennedy shirt, which he loves, by the way, so I scored really big on that. But they were doing a $10 t-shirt sale, and that's like huge because if you guys like band shirts, they're like normally $25. They're really expensive. And so the fact that they were all $10, I was like, whoa, the savings. So I ended up getting him not only one shirt, but me 2 other band shirts. I got myself a Pierce the Veil shirt and a Panic shirt because I can't like not go into Hot Topic and want to buy a band shirt. So yeah, that was a pretty good day. I mean, there were a lot of people at the mall, but like it wasn't really that crazy. The only annoying thing about Black Friday is like it's not even like that there's so many people, it's slow walkers. Oh my god, I could do an entire video rant about slow walkers, but that was my biggest pet peeve in the mall that day, was that people like would not move, and I was just trying to get to the store and I couldn't walk because people were in the way. So that's a whole other video, but yeah, that was a good day though. June 2nd. Season 5 of Pretty Little Liars went on Netflix. Yep, it did. And I'm pretty sure I watched it within the span of 2 or 3 days. Yep, I was really excited when that season came out, and I'm really excited when the current season that I just watched is going to come out, because it ended the show. We found out who A is, and now it's coming back in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, what? If you guys are Pretty Little Liars fans, and you'll know that they like jumped 5 years ahead into the future, and I'm like, what? They ended it so perfectly. Why do they have to continue it? Like, I know I'm going to watch it, but I don't know, I feel like they didn't have to continue it. Once again, that's a whole other video, but yeah. June 4th. Saw Pitch Perfect 2 with Haley. So me and my good friend, we went and we saw Pitch Perfect 2, and such a good movie, by the way. Ugh, so good. And apparently they're making a 3rd one. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm excited. February 13th. Changed my Tumblr URL/username to the Pretty Little TARDIS. Yeah, I got really into Tumblr like last November-ish is when I like got back into it, and I hadn't been on my Tumblr in like 3 years prior to that, and I didn't really know how it worked. But my original username for like the first 4 months that I actually got back into it was Gwen Goose, because I didn't know that I could change it, because that's what I made it when I was in like 7th grade. And then I finally came up with a username that A, I liked, and B, was not already taken, and that is my current username now, the Pretty Little TARDIS. My URL for my Tumblr will be below if you guys want to go check me out on that. I post on that. I have a queue, so I post pretty much every day, and I love Tumblr. Tumblr is going to be like near and dear to my heart forever now, because I love it so much. This one's from June 19th. Went to see Matt Nathanson, Train, and the Fray concert. Yep, I went to see them in concert for the first time. I hadn't seen any of those people, and it was a really fun concert. That's also in my concert excitement video. That's the 2nd concert I talk about, not just Fall Out Boy. I talk about that concert too, because those are both pretty close in the time period, and that was a really fun concert. Seeing Train and the Fray was so fun. Awesome concert, really good show. This one's from September 8th. It says, JV volleyball won our first game, and I got 7 aces. Yeah, so good job, girl. So, like I said before, I play volleyball, and I was on JV this year, and we apparently won our first game on September 8th, so we actually ended the season pretty well. So we had a good season, and apparently I got 7 aces, so wow, go me, that's pretty awesome. I'm so modest, as you can tell. April 5th, and then I wrote in the parentheses, Easter. Baked an Easter cake with my mom. Oh my god, I remember this. This, like, when I think about this, it seems so far away, and I guess April is far away, but I also remember it like it was yesterday. We baked this cake. Oh my god. Here's a picture of it. Can we just discuss this? It was blue, like we used so much. We got a tub of blue icing, and by the end of it, our hands were stained blue, my mom's tongue was stained blue, our faces were stained blue. Like, oh my god, it was like blue teeth. It was so bad because we used so much blue icing. The cake ended up tasting pretty good. We decorated it. It was fun, but that was a crazy experience, yet a really fun experience. This one is from December 20th, just happened. I got professional filming lights. Yep, and I'm using them right now, and I love them so much. So hopefully the lighting looks good because I love them so much. I talk about this in my What I Got for Christmas video. I got them earlier before Christmas from some extended family, and I love them so much. They work so well. Oh my god, I'm so happy. This one's from October 27th. It says, I bought a ticket to go see Panic at the Disco live. Oh yes. That was a Tuesday night and it was like 10 p.m. and I bought my ticket and man, it was happening. Whew. Yeah, that was a really exciting moment for me. This one's from July 2nd. All it says is, I walked through Versailles. Like no period or anything, just I walked through Versailles. Which is true. This was during my friend's trip and we went to Versailles like the second day we were in Paris, which was like the second day of the trip, and it was amazing. Oh my god, that was so cool. I had some really cool pictures from the Hall of Mirrors, and that was just a really cool place to go. This one is from August 10th. Went exploring and adventuring with Gordon. So one of my good friends who is actually in college now, but he was a senior last year and we met in theater class, he was going to college like a few days like after we hung out, and so I really wanted to hang out with him before he left for college, and he was going like far away for college. He ended up coming over, we ended up hanging out, and we like went exploring at like these train tracks, and like we went down near this reservoir and this waterfall, and it was really fun. And yeah, it was like so hot though. I remember coming back and like being so sweaty, but it was really fun. He's like an adventurous type, so that was a really fun day. And yeah, I have some photos from that day on my Tumblr. So if you guys like go to my Tumblr and scroll through my personal posts, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. There's a bunch of photos of us and like the places that we went, and we got some pretty cool artsy photos that we were planning on putting on our Tumblrs. So yeah, that was a really fun day. This is from August 1st. Oh my gosh, it says, I went cliff jumping for the first time. This was also at the lake with my friend. Yeah, not only did I go tubing like the next day for the first time, but I also went cliff jumping for the first time. And when I told my mom, she was like, oh my god, you could have died. It wasn't super high. I don't know, it was like 10 feet. It was 8 or 10 feet, I remember. I don't exactly know which one it is, like between there. So I don't really know if you consider that high. Like, it didn't really look high. Like if you were on the boat and you looked up, you were like, oh, that's not high. But when you're up there, it feels really high. And I've definitely seen people jump off cliffs that are way higher. So it wasn't like super high, but it was really fun. I could only get myself to jump off twice, but it was fun. Oh my god, you feel like you're flying. Like there's a good like 3 seconds before you touch the water. It was crazy because I had never done anything like that before, and it was really fun. This one's from June 8th. Went to my first commencement. So in the end of the year, when you're in upper school at my school, we don't call it a graduation, we call it a commencement. So it's really all dedicated towards the seniors and their class and everyone that's graduating. They don't really acknowledge the fact that like 9th is moving to 10th and 10th is moving to 11th. It's really just all about the seniors going and graduating the school. And when you're in upper school, right, so I was a freshman last year, it was my first time going to a commencement, and it was really fun and it was really nice, especially because like once you get in high school, you know the seniors more, so it was nice to be there and to be there for the senior class because a lot of them I really didn't know, so it was pretty cool. And I became a 10th grader on that day, so that's pretty cool too. This one is from May 29th. Survived extremely long 3-hour bio final. Oh my god, that was death. I remember that. That was the worst final of them all just because of how long it was. I remember the actual final wasn't that hard, but it was so long. And like we got 3 hours to do it. And like some of the other finals I finished with like half an hour or even like an hour to go. this thing, I was literally there until they were like yelling at me to leave because it was just such a big final. It was insane. I would like, that was the most stressful final because I wasn't sure if I was gonna finish in time, and they were literally counting down. They were like, okay, you only have 1 minute. They were like 30 seconds, and I'm like furiously writing. Oh my god, that was the most stressful experience of my life. So I survived clearly on May 29th, and I'm really happy I did because I honestly thought I was gonna have like a nervous breakdown during that final. It was so stressful. March 15th, my birthday. It says, today I turned 15 on March 15th, 2015. So, pretty cool. That was my golden birthday because I turned 15 on March 15th. Also, it was like my super golden birthday technically because it was also 2015. Pretty cool. That was a really great day. My dad and I, we went to Madison Square Garden to see a Ranger game, and it was a really, really fun birthday. It was a pretty awesome golden birthday, if I have to say so myself. This one's from July 7th. It says, I had a crepe in France. Yep. That was on my bucket list, and I achieved it, and I was really happy I did, because it was one of the last days that we were in France, and we had like an hour for lunch, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a crepe for lunch. And I did, and they're not small, okay? Like, this crepe was really big. Like, it totally filled me up. It had, oh my god, what did it have in it? It had chocolate and bananas. Oh man, it was so good. This one's from March 10th. It says, I found out I am the murderer for the theater murder mystery improv case. So in theater last year, we did a murder mystery, and right before spring break, we did a murder mystery in class. So basically everyone was assigned a character, and we brought in costumes and we got to dress up like our character. The idea was that it was like a high school reunion after like, I don't know, 10 or 20 years or something. And so we're all like adults now. And we each had characters, and we all came back. And basically the storyline was that someone died during the reunion. Like, the lights go out, someone died. You had these envelopes with information about your character and some others, and you had to use that information and talking with other people, like other characters, to figure out who the murderer was. And it was a really, really fun thing. We did it for an entire week. Like, every single day we just came in, changed to our costumes, and like, we couldn't get out of our character until we left class. It was really, really fun. And it was a blast. But anyway, I guess March 10th is when I found out that I was the murderer. Like, in a class of 20 something, I would be the murderer, like me. And I remember talking about this to a friend in my class, my theater class. I was like, it's gonna be me. Like, I'm gonna be the murderer. I know it's gonna happen. And so what happened was that after the lights went out and the guy was like on the ground dead, that was the end of class, but then before you left, you got a new envelope. And we're all standing around, and our teacher, Mr. Johnson, is handing us back these envelopes. And I remember the key moment when I opened mine, and it read in big bold letters, "You are the murderer. Do not let anyone know. Like, and here are your motives, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I did not, like, I was trying not to, like, laugh or anything. I was trying to keep a poker face, because I did not want anyone to know. People ended up finding out because the whole murder mystery was not really, like, it wasn't really made in the best way because, so really quick about this, so the guy who got murdered, everyone knew that he was murdered by a blunt object. Who was the only one in the whole entire group carrying a blunt object? Oh yeah, that was me. My character won an Emmy, so I had to bring in a trophy and pretend it was my Emmy, and I was the only one carrying like a blunt object type thing, and that's how basically everyone found out it was me. But yeah, I was the murderer, and that was pretty crazy, and that was really, really fun. This one's from May 24th. It says, had sushi with Tiki. So one of my best friends, Takia, we went out for sushi together, and this was right before finals. This was in May. And so we went for sushi together, and she'd never like had sushi before. I think she'd had like very simple like California rolls, but I love sushi. It's my favorite food ever. So we went out for sushi, and then we went back to my place and we studied for finals. But like, I made her try all these like rolls and stuff and like things that she would never try, and she actually did, and I was really proud of her. And she actually ended up liking this stuff, which my biggest fear was that I was gonna be like, oh, get this, and then she like hated it. But it ended up going really well, and we got some really awesome sushi, and it was a really fun day. This one is from August 3rd. It says, I got my first ever Panic at the Disco merch shirt. I remember that. I ordered it off their website. This was when my obsession was just, it was past the point of no return, basically. And I really wanted to get some of their merch, so I ordered a shirt that's actually like not it's like probably my least favorite piece of Panic at the Disco merch that I have now, but I still love it. It's a shirt, it says, "Say Your Prayers, Panic at the Disco" on the bottom, that I really, really like. It's really nice. It's from their song Hallelujah. And yeah, but I remember I got so excited when I ordered that and it finally came. This one doesn't have a date on it. I don't know why I didn't write a date on this. I must have forgotten, but it says I went to Italy for the first time. So that would be around July 9th, I'm assuming, or like the 10th or something. But yeah, I went to Italy for the first time. I just did not write down the date for some reason. But yeah. This one is from March 24th. It says, watch the Pretty Little Liars spring finale. Hashtag Charles is A. Yeah, I was in Las Vegas with my dad at that point last year. This was during spring break, and we watched it like in the hotel room. And oh my god, it was a really, whew, that was an important moment. And I was like, whoa, Charles is A. But yeah, I remember that. That was a pretty awesome finale. This one is from May 15th. Oh my god, this was cool. It says, I said my monologue from my big fat Greek wedding in front of famous actor and casting director Robert Lupone. I totally forgot about this. So last year during the end of the school year in theater class, Robert Lupone, who is actually Patti LuPone's brother, like fangirling definitely, it's really cool. And he has been like, he's kind of a character actor on like a bunch of things. Like he's been in a bunch of like episodes of TV shows and stuff. And he like lives in New York, and he came up to our class and he like taught us a little like workshop, and he like told us about acting and directing and casting and how directors like distinguish between, you know, picking an actor that they want for that job. And it was really, really cool to hear him talk to us. And he really knows his stuff when it comes to this kind of thing. And we got to say our theater monologues in front of him, which was so cool. So I said a monologue from the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding in front of him. And I actually remember getting pretty good feedback from him. So that was just really, really cool to say like a monologue in front of a famous actor and have them give you their opinion back. So that was a really cool day. This one is from March 7th. It says, went to see Laughingstock, a school play that a bunch of my theater friends were in. So yeah, I mean, that basically speaks for itself. It was a really fun play. I auditioned, but I didn't get in. But obviously I knew a ton of people that were in the show, so I went to go see it, and it was a hilarious show. It was so funny. This one's from April 17th. Literally all it says is, joined Glee Club. Yeah, I got pulled into a rehearsal by one of my good theater friends who's a senior last year, and he's like, join, and I'm like, okay. And so I joined for like the last like month and a half of the year, and I actually got to perform with them at one of their little performances, which was fun. I'm not in Glee Club this year because I'm doing like a bunch of other clubs, and I just honestly wouldn't have had the time. I really did like being in it for a little bit last year. This is from July 31st. It says, went to an Ariana Grande concert with Haley. So yeah, my best friend and I went to go see Ariana Grande. This was my third concert of this year, and it was really fun. She is such a good performer. Like, I mean, I did not doubt her singing abilities because like she's been on Broadway, like you know she's good. But she just sounded so good live, and she can like dance, and it was a really, really cool performance. They had a lot of really cool lighting effects and a lot of really cool like props and stuff that she used, and so yeah, that was a really fun show. This one's from April 26th. It says, participated in the March of Dimes walk with Key Club. I was in the Key Club last year at school, and I'm in it again this year. And basically, it's just an upper school community service club. And so we did a 3-mile walk for the March of Dimes, which is for babies. And it was really fun. This is from August 16th. It says, I went to my first fair. There's a fair that happens every single year. Like, it's literally 2 minutes from my house. And I've lived where I am for like 7 years now, and this is the first year that I ever ended up going. It's so close to me. I don't know why I haven't taken advantage of it like the past years, but this is my first time going, and it was my first like ever fair that I've ever been to. I'm definitely gonna go next year because it was really fun. This is from May 15th. Dissected a frog for the first time and saw a cow eyeball and a sheep heart. That's something I don't really want to remember. Yeah, we did a bunch of dissections in bio last year. We dissected a frog, which was like the main dissection, and then we also got to hold a cow eyeball. I don't think I held that because I was just like too scared, but the inside of it was blue, I remember, which was pretty cool. And we saw a sheep heart, which was cool too. Next is from April 27th. Played in my first ever varsity softball game. Last year was my first year on varsity, and that was when our first game was. This one's from February 28th. I went to the International Food Festival and tried new food. So every year in my school in February, we have an international food festival where if you're from any ethnic background and you want to make food or like bring in things that have to do with your culture, basically everyone like picks an ethnicity and they bring in food for that ethnicity, and then everyone goes and they get to like try their friend's food, and it's really, really fun. And I remember like my goal every year is to try at least 2 or 3 things that I've never tried before, and I think I actually met that goal last year. I tried a bunch of like really good things that my friends made, and it was really fun. This is for March 15th, also my birthday again. It says, went to New York City to see a Ranger game, which I mentioned before. Yep, really, really fun. And they ended up winning, which was really cool, because that was my second NHL game I'd ever been to. The first one I went to was 2 years ago, I think, and it was to see the New York Islanders, and they lost 6-0 to the Wild. Yeah, I didn't even get to see a home goal. That was rough. So being there and seeing a home goal, first of all, and having them win was like really cool. This is from May 28th. It says, hit a double against a tough team and got the best hit of the game. I'm assuming this is varsity? Maybe not, though. This might be, I think this is probably, I'm trying to think, because I do both varsity and rec softball during the spring, and I did not distinguish which one this was from. But either way, I hit a double, and I guess I got the best hit of the game, so yay me. This one's from October 17th. I went to my first ever quinceañera, which was so much fun. My friend is Hispanic, and so she had a quinceañera for her 15th birthday, and it was so much fun. She had it at her house, and her house is huge, and she had the party in this big barn. It was like 50s themed, so we all dressed up like flappers, and it was, oh my god, it was so much fun. This is from August 30th. Made a whole $2.85 at the racetrack. For those who don't know, I love going to the racetrack over the summer, and I love betting on horses and watching horse racing. I'm like really into it, and this year I actually ended up making a profit for myself, which was pretty awesome. And I don't bet much, like I bet very little, but I won 10 out of 12 of my bets, so pretty awesome. And I get really into it. Like I really like handicapping the horses and looking over all like the stats and stuff. I find it really fun, so I won big, a whole $2.85, which is pretty good for me. This one's from February 21st. Skyped for the first time with an awesome girl I met on Tumblr, Amanda. She's a girl that I met on Tumblr. She's in college right now. She's in her first year of college, and I met her last year around this time. It was like December of last year is when I started talking to her. I met her through Tumblr, and she knew a friend that I knew, like a lot of really weird connections, and she doesn't even live anywhere near here. She lives in Wisconsin, and which is crazy because like who would have known that she would know someone that lives in New York or like with me. It's crazy. But we ended up meeting over Tumblr, and we talked, and then we Skyped for the first time on February 21st, and we got to talk to each other, and it was really cool. We've been wanting to meet up, but we haven't gotten a chance to. But either way, she's really nice. I'll link her Tumblr below. You guys should check her out. She's really cool, and she posts a lot of cool things, and yeah. April 7th. Recited my first ever declamation in front of my English class. Oof, I remember that. So when you get to upper school for my school, every single year you have to write a declamation on a topic, which is basically a big speech, and you have to memorize it and say it in front of your English class. And then you can go to the finals, and you can compete against the entire school. I only did it for my English class. I didn't win for my class, but I think I did pretty well. I ended up doing my declamation on a bunch of different things. I started off with Tumblr, which then ended up leading to me like talking about how Tumblr has gotten me into so many new things, one of them being Doctor Who. I think I even used Amanda as an example, actually, as like I've met new friends, but then like one other part of it was TV shows, so I talked about Doctor Who, and then I finished off the end of my speech basically discussing whether or not if I had the power to time travel, would I, and where would I go. So it was like a lot of stuff happened in my speech. I had a lot of different topics I was talking about, but it was pretty cool. I have no clue what I'm gonna write this year's on. I don't even have like any ideas. So yeah. This one's from February 1st. A lot of February. Lots happening in February. Went tubing for the first time with family. Now this is a different type of tubing. This is not tubing on water, which I didn't specify, but that's what I meant. Well, I talked about the lake. But this was tubing on snow. February 1st, which was the day of the Super Bowl this year, me and my family, we went tubing for the first time, and it was so much fun. It was like at a really cool place where like you actually picked up a ton of speed. It reminded me a lot of like Club Penguin and how you used to like go into those lanes and you'd tube down the mountain. Like it was very similar in the sense that they had like lanes built up with the snow that you'd go down, and they even had like a ski lift, but it wasn't. Well, it was like a ski lift type thing, like a conveyor belt, where they would hook your tube up and you would go up the mountain. It was so cool. So you didn't actually have to like drag your tube up the mountain, which was really cool. And yeah, that was my first time ever going tubing. I'd gone sledding before, but I had never gone tubing, so it was pretty fun. This one's from January 19th. This is so long ago, wow. Went to my first ever snowball dance. A lot of firsts happened this year because part of this year I was a freshman, and when you're a freshman, obviously you get a ton of new things, a ton of new experiences, and one of them was going to the snowball dance. And I went, and it was really a lot of fun. It was at a country club, and it was a blast. This is from February 8th. Successfully added different pages and tags onto my Tumblr blog. Yeah, I like ended up remodeling my whole Tumblr blog basically in February-ish, and I added like pages and tags, and I was doing a bunch of like editing and things like that online, and it was really fun. So my Tumblr looks pretty cool now. I'm pretty happy with it. So that was when I did it. I did it way in the beginning of the year. July 1st, I saw the Mona Lisa. Yeah, this was one of the first days in France, in Paris specifically. We went to the Louvre, and I saw Mona Lisa, and I don't know if I talked about this in my I went to Europe video, but I did something that I'd always been dreaming about doing. Is not only did I see her, but I had my earbuds with me, and I put them in, I went on my phone, and I played the Ballad of Mona Lisa by Panic at the Disco, and I kind of sang to her. Like in front of everyone. I'm not even joking. Like I didn't like belt it out or anything, like I wasn't like the center of attention, but like I was squeezing my way through people to try and get a photo, and as I was doing that, I was like, whoa, whoa, Mona Lisa. Oh my god, I must have looked like the craziest tourist ever. Oh my god. That was like on my bucket list, and I actually did it, and it was hilarious, but yeah, I hope she liked it. This one's from January 26th, another really old one. Won the Shakespeare competition for my class in 9th grade. So this is very similar to the Declaration in the sense that you get a Shakespeare monologue, you perform it in front of your English class, and then they pick a winner from that English class, and then they end up picking a winner for the entire 9th grade, and that ended up being me. I was the 9th grade representative, and then I had to go in front of the entire school, boys and girls, and I had to say my Shakespeare monologue, like act it out, in front of everyone. I didn't end up winning the entire thing, a senior did. I was not expecting to win the entire thing, but it was still pretty cool to be like the 9th grade girl representing my class. And yeah, that was a pretty cool achievement for me, and I was really excited. This one's from April 25th. Performed at Celebration of the Arts with Theater and Glee Club. Yep, so this is kind of what I was talking about before. This is the only performance that I did with the Glee Club, but we sang and it was fun. And then I also performed a skit with my theater class. We did it outside, and I was one of the leads, and I actually had to do a stage kiss with a senior last year, which was interesting. It was cool. It was fun. But the entire skit was really good, except that we did it outside. So like, everyone came out. First of all, everyone was outside. The wind was blowing, so no one could hear what we were saying at all. We didn't have mics or anything. And then another thing, we were supposed to be like in a diner. That was the set. And like, I'm pretty sure that like the napkins and the cups while we were like saying our lines were like flying everywhere and like hitting us in the face. And like, I swear like the table I thought was gonna fall over. So no one could hear us, and the entire set was basically wrecked. So needless to say, that did not really go as planned, but it was fun nonetheless. And we kind of all laughed about it at the end, so. This is from December 25th, just happened. Yeah, if you guys would know this, if you guys watched my What I Got for Christmas video, I got 2 of my first ever records. Yeah, I got 2 records for Christmas, my first ever records that I've ever owned personally, and they're amazing. Oh my god, I love them so much. I got Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die by Panic at the Disco, and then I got Foile à Deux by Fall Out Boy. I love them both so much. They're bomb albums, and they're really good records to have, and they're really cool, so I love them so much. If you guys want to hear more about them, you guys can watch my What I Got for Christmas 2015 video. I'll link it below. This is from January 21st. Once again, really long time ago. Went to the dentist. No cavities! that was a good thing, I guess that happened. I went to the dentist and I had no cavities, so taking care of these pearly whites. Yay me. This is from May 13th. Had my first hit as a varsity player, and it was an RBI. So this was definitely varsity, obviously. This was school related, and I guess I had my first hit at a team on May 13th, and it was an RBI, which means runs batted in, so I brought somebody home. Yay me. I remember this. It was a single, and I was pretty happy about it, because I actually like brought people in and I made runs, and I was like, yes, go me. So I do remember that. That was pretty awesome. This is from October 4th. I ran the 5K Color Me Rad run with my mom. That was so much fun. It was really cold, so we had to like keep moving, and we did not run the entire thing. We walked a lot of it. But my mom and I did the Color Me Rad 5K run for the first time ever. We got all this swag, all this like fun stuff, and then we got totally, I was totally covered in color by the end. It was a really fun experience, something that I'd always wanted to do, and it was fun to do with my mom, so we had a great time. This one's from November 13th. Best day of my life. I know what happened on this date because I'll never forget it. I saw Panic at the Disco live for the first time in Hartford, Connecticut. And as everything else I talk about, I have a video on it. I'll link it below. I'm linking everything. This was literally one of the best days of my life. Like, hands down. Oh my god, so good. It also happened to be Friday the 13th, which I ended up having a pretty rad Friday the 13th, clearly. Oh my god, such an amazing day. I really encourage you guys, if you guys want to hear more about that, to watch my video. It's long, but it's worth it because the story is pretty cool. And oh man, that night was incredible. We were so close to them. Oh, I can't even, so awesome. That was definitely one of the highlights of this year, I think. This is from March 25th. Went on a 55-story high Ferris wheel over Las Vegas. So yeah, I went to Las Vegas over spring break, and I went on this huge Ferris wheel that they have recently built called the High Roller, and you go in this big pod and you go up above Vegas. And I went during the day, which I feel like it's cooler if you go at night because then you can see all the hotels lit up, but it was really cool during the day. You go up 55 stories high. It's crazy. You can see everything. Like, on one hand you can see Vegas, and then on the other hand you can see like the desert. It's really funny. And my dad was too afraid to go up, so I had to go by myself, but I went up with these two old ladies who were actually like the coolest people ever. They were like, "Where's your dad?" And I was like, "Oh, he's down there, he's too afraid." And they were like, "Oh, you gotta bring him next time." And then there was this creepy guy. They had this monitor with this like guy who kind of like talked to you throughout the journey, because it was like you're up there for a good like 20 to 30 minutes. That's how long the ride is. It's kind of like the London Eye. And there was this guy that would talk to you through this like monitor. It was this recording, and he would talk to you through the monitor, and it was this guy, and he'd like every few minutes he'd be like, "We're at this many feet," or "We're almost there," and like he was like, you could only see his head. It was really creepy. And so, okay, honestly, never forget this. One of the old ladies was like, "That looks like something that you would see on Doctor Who." And at that point, my Doctor Who obsession was like really high, and I was like, girl, I know, right? And we ended up having this entire conversation about Doctor Who, like on this thing with these ladies that I had never even met. They were these old sweet ladies, and I was like, "Girl, I know, Doctor Who was such a good show." She's like, "Oh, you watched it?" I was like, "Yes." And oh my god, we got into this conversation, and it was so awesome. And I had the old ladies take a photo of me up there, which is pretty cool. They were like, "Oh, you want us to take a photo of you for your dad?" They were like the sweetest people ever. Like, if I had to be stuck with anyone by myself up there, I'm happy it was them, because they were so sweet. Oh. And they knew Doctor Who. Like, they were really hip old ladies. This next one is from February 5th. I performed in the Winter Dime. It's the dialogue, improv, monologue evening that we have at my school. We have 2 every year, and they're for my theater class. And we do monologues and improvs and dialogues, obviously, and we do them all for the parents and teachers, and it's really fun, and that was on February 5th. And we just recently had one in November that was really fun as well. This is from April 4th. Saw Insurgent with Haley and Anna. So me and my 2 good friends, we went to see Insurgent, which is the second movie in the Divergent series, as I was talking about earlier. Such a good movie, such a good movie. This is the only movie I've ever seen that I think is better than the book. Like, I read the book like a week before I saw the movie, and then I went to see the movie, and like the movie, my friends agreed too. They were like, "That movie was so much better than the book." And like, it's not even that they didn't really change much, it was just so good. Like, I found the book to be kind of boring, not gonna lie. Like, I don't know, I like the first one the best, but the movie was so good. This one is from February 9th. Watched the movie Howl's Moving Castle for the first time. This is an anime movie, one of my favorite anime movies now. I love it so, so much. Such a good movie, such a cute film, and like the graphics and the scenery on the film are so beautiful. It was recommended to me by a good friend, and the movie's really, really good. And I like watch it all the time now, it's so good. And it kind of got me into watching other movies like Spirited Away and like a bunch of other ones that I really like. This is from February 7th. It says, added background images to my blog on Tumblr. And then it says parentheses, with help from Gordy, who's the guy who I went adventuring with, the senior last year. He has a Tumblr, and his is like really popular, and he's been on it for quite a while, and so he helped me basically get mine up and running when I wanted to redo it last year. And so he helped me like add images and stuff. That was February. And then I ended up creating other things and like finishing it, but he helped me kind of get it started, so I appreciated that. We're coming down to the wire here. We're almost done, guys. June 4th. Had my first sleepover with Haley, my best friend now. We became really good friends near the end of last year at school, and so we had our first sleepover over the summer, and it was really fun. July 6th, I saw one of the largest and oldest Roman aqueducts in the world. This was also, this was in France. This was on my trip, and we went to this huge Roman aqueduct. It was ginormous, and we got to take pictures of it, and like there was this little like pool and lake that people were swimming in, and I walked down and I like dipped my feet in, and it was really beautiful, and it was really cool to see. This is from July 2nd, also during the trip. I went to the second floor of the Eiffel Tower. Yep, we walked like a million flights of stairs, and we finally got to the top, me and a bunch of my friends, and we took photos up there, and it was such a beautiful view of Paris. It was amazing. This is from February 8th. All it says is, was productive with schoolwork. I guess that's a pretty good thing that happened to me this year. I mean, I stayed pretty productive when it came to schoolwork, so yay me. I've said yay me so many times in this video, I feel like London Tipton. Literal throwback. July 4th. 4th of July. It says, oh my god, I ate dinner in a cave and tried escargot, snails. Yeah, so this was during my France trip, so we were in France for the 4th of July, and we went to a mushroom cave. It was like a mushroom and snail cave, and where they raised snails and they grew mushrooms, obviously. And we had a 5-course mushroom meal, and we ate snails. I like mushrooms. The meal, honestly, was not good. I was really disappointed, because like they grew mushrooms down there. I was like, oh my god, these are gonna be like gourmet mushrooms. Yeah, the dinner was like 3 hours long, and they kept bringing in like more and more mushrooms, and it never got better each course, and there were like 5 courses. But I decided to get like, you could pay a little extra and get some snails, and I tried escargot, and it was actually pretty good. It was probably the best part of the entire meal. So yeah, snails are not bad. This is from January 21st. Got 100 likes on an Instagram photo. I think this was my first time I had ever got 100 likes before. And it was a pic from Snowball with my friends Anna and another girl in my class named Rihanna. And I'm sure if you scroll down through my Instagram, you can find it. We're like in our dresses and stuff. And yeah, that was the first pic that I'd ever got 100 likes on, so that was pretty exciting. Follow me on Instagram if you want to. Link will be below. More self-promoing, I'm sorry. This is from March 14th. Had my family birthday party. This was the day before my birthday, and I invited all my family members over, like my extended family, and we had a little lunch, and we had cake, and we gave gifts, and it was really fun. March 6th. Went to support Gordon in Beauty and the Beast. So this is, yeah, the senior I was talking about. He was performing in Beauty and the Beast, not at my school, at a different school very close by. And so he got like the main role that apparently this is like a role that he had been dreaming of getting. This is his favorite Disney musical. And so he had been like dreaming of getting this role. And so I went to go see him while he was in that. And it was a really good show, and he was really good as he played Gaston. So it was a really good show. And like the theater community is so small that I ended up knowing a bunch of other people that were in the show too, which was funny. October 9th. The Sailor Sophomores came in 2nd place at Bacon Bat. You guys might not know what that means if you go to public school. Well, I guess you guys just might not know what that means, period. So in my school, we do something every year called Bacon Bat, where it's basically a class competition. And this year, since I'm a sophomore, we were the Sailor Sophomores. So we had like a sailor theme, like waves and stuff, and you write like class songs, and you do like cheers, and you do like athletic events like tug of war, dodgeball, which we slayed dodgeball, by the way, and we ended up coming in 2nd place, and we only lost by 3 points to the juniors, which is insane because it's out of like 1,000 points, and we only lost by 3. So that's kind of annoying, but we did end up coming in second place, which was huge for us because last year as freshmen we came in last. So we did a really good job this year and we came in second, and I hope that we can come in first either next year or when we're seniors, because I mean we dominated this year. We did a really good job, so I'm really proud of my class. And it was a lot of fun. Such a fun day at school. This is from January 23rd. This is when I won the Shakespeare competition in my English class, and then I got to go on and be a finalist. This is from January 29th. Perform the Shakespeare competition in front of the whole upper school. Okay, yep. I've already mentioned this stuff, it's now it's coming up, but yeah. Okay, so we only have a few left, so we're almost done. This is from January 17th. These are all from January because they were at the bottom probably. But it says, made a homemade margarita pizza with Dad for the first time. So I had this idea in the beginning of this year that we should make like homemade pizza at home, and now we make it like every other week. Like I started a trend in my house, so pretty cool. But yeah, this was the first time that we'd ever made a pizza, and we made a margarita pizza, and it turned out really, really good. And now we make like Hawaiian pizza and like meatball pizza, and it's really good, so yep. This is from March 27th. This is when I started reading Homestuck, which is an online, I don't even know what you call it, like an animation story, or maybe like a paint story, I think that's what it's called. But I actually haven't read it in a while. I kind of read it over the summer, but I haven't really read it recently. But it's really good if you're into that kind of thing. It was a huge fandom on Tumblr. Some of my friends were into it, so I decided to start reading it. And it was really good. I was really into it at a certain like point during the year, and then I kind of not really into it anymore. Like I used to post a lot of stuff about it on Tumblr, and now it's like kind of a dead fandom on my Tumblr, but maybe I'll get back into it. I have myself bookmarked online of like where I left off. I just haven't gotten back into reading it. But it's a good story. It's really cool. So, all right, we're up to the second to last one. Oh my god. This is from January 2nd. I mean, we cannot get more like in the past than this. Got my hair done ombre for the first time. This was in one of my vlogs from last year, Vlogs for the Holidays, which is how old this is. This was in my last vlog of the holidays last year. And you see me like talking about how I got my hair done. It's like totally, yeah, it's not here anymore, obviously. I have highlights now, which I don't even know if you guys can tell, but I have highlights in my hair now. I don't have the ombre. I've kind of been debating if I want to get it again because I am getting my hair done soon, or I just might add more highlights in. Who knows, but that was when I got my hair done ombre for the first time ever, and I ended up loving it, so yeah. And now we're finally at the last one, folks. I'm blocking it, but there it is, the last one. What do you want to bet? It's from January. I'm gonna bet you guys a lot that it's from January. Because all the ones in the bottom were from January. Sorry, I guess I didn't shake it up as well as I could have. Oh my god, it's from July! Whoa, shocker. I'm not being sarcastic, like whoa, I didn't even expect that. And it says, to finish off this awesome jar of good thoughts, I swam in the Mediterranean Sea. Yep. That was really awesome. This was during the trip as well. I did so many cool things during that trip. But that's it, guys. Oh my god, I can't even express to you how many of these things there are in my room right now. Oh my lord. So many good things happened. Look at all the goodness. Look at all the goodness. Oh my god, guys. I am so happy. Woo! Okay, guys, so that's the end of this video. Clearly it's been an amazing year. I honestly did not realize that this year had been this amazing until now. Oh my god, there's so many of these. They're like all over me. But yeah, guys, wow. This was so much fun to do, guys. This was so cool. I love looking back on like my year and seeing all the cool things I did, because before this video, I didn't really realize how awesome of a year I had until I realized now, looking at like this mess below me, of how many amazing things happened. And I'm so grateful for all the new experiences that I got to experience this year, and all the new things I got to do, and just all the great times that I had. I mean, there are very few days, clearly, when something awesome didn't happen. So that's awesome. I strive for this coming year to be just as awesome as this one is, and to have just as many awesome moments. I'm debating whether or not I want to do this again. I might. But it was really fun, and I definitely encourage you guys, if you guys have never done this, to do it, because it's really fun at the end of the year, especially if you guys are a YouTuber. It's fun to like make into a video, and it's just fun to see how things happen. And even if you're not a YouTuber, like just totally do it, and it's really fun. So yeah, guys, I really want to thank you guys for sticking with me and watching this video, which I'm sure is very long at this point, because I did not realize how many of these things were in this jar. So, sorry about that. But yeah, guys, that's the end of this video, and I really want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys had a great year yourselves, And I hope you guys have a really awesome new year. And I'll be talking to you guys really soon. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!